Tampa Tony, by the way, my pops, shout him out. He's moved. He's also lost 45 pounds.
Is he still in Tampa area?
Tampa, dude. He moved to Tampa in the middle of the pandemic.
And didn't tell you. I remember this, where you were like, "Where are you, Tampa? Like, what are you doing there? I live here."
Yeah, I live here.
What the fuck are you doing?
Just moved there. Yeah, right when COVID was at its height. And he's been living there ever since. And he said he likes living there because he likes walking in the pool. He's like, Christopher, every day I wake up, I put on my water shoes, and I walk in the pool. And that's what keeps me in shape. I was like, all right, well,
okay,
dude, he's got water shoes. That my dad's one of the only guys, like he's so obsessed with these water shoes. That guy will have on like a $400 suit with water shoes.
I think I saw this clip on Instagram.
Yeah.
That somebody I know somebody posted for you.
Yep.
But
Brian Moore, aka Lancelot Head.
Lancelot posted the clip of you talking about being out with your dad, and you saw Steven Tyler.
Oh my God. That was real.
Dabbing his pizza.
Yeah. So we were at Joe's Pizza in the West Village. Great, some of the best pizza in New York. And my dad, we were going to a Knicks game. So this must have been, I want to say early 2000s, something like that. So we're there, we're hanging out, eating pizza before we go take the train up to the game. And Steven Tyler walks in. And like everybody knows that that's Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Like from Aerosmith, it's Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
And it's New York, so people are like, oh shit, but nobody's bombarding him.
Yeah.
It's New York. So we see him, and my dad's like, everyone's going crazy over this guy. I was like, yeah, it's Steven Tyler. He's like, I know who it is. What am I, fucking asshole? I was like, kind of. But he was like, I know who it is. I was like, okay. So then Steven gets his pizza. He's with his manager or whatever, and he starts taking a napkin.
Yeah,
and
it's oily.
Blinding the oil off a pizza.
Yeah.
And my dad goes, this fucking guy. He goes, no way he's from New York if he's napkin blinding the oil off his pizza. I was like, Dad, it doesn't matter. It's like he'll do what he wants to do. Like, just let's eat the pizza. Let's get to the game. He goes, I got to fucking say something to this guy. I was like, Dad, please don't say anything to Steven Tyler. Like, please don't. Like, literally, like this. It's not.
Is your anxiety like? Just,
through the roof.
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't matter if he's napkin blind the oil off the pizza. Like, let him have cholesterol issues. Who cares?
Yeah.
And my dad goes, I gotta say. He's like, it's such disrespect to do that in New York City. So I was like, okay. So my dad finishes the pizza, throws it out, and we're walking past, and I'm like, please don't say anything. And my dad just walks past him. He goes, hey, Bon Jovi, you don't need to napkin blot the oil off your pizza. And then Steve, I swear to God, I turned around and Steven had the slice like this far from his mouth open. Like, did that guy just call me Bon Jovi? And then I was like, Dad, he's from Aerosmith. He was like, same shit. I was like, it's actually not. And then still to this day, I think my dad thinks Steven Tyler is the lead singer of Bon Jovi.
Sure, for sure he does.
But if you showed him a picture and said, no, it's Aerosmith, he'd be like, yeah, it's whatever. It's Bon Jovi. It's fine.
Guy's got the hair. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you the my dad Phil Collins story?
No. I don't think so.
My God. Okay. So.
You did tell me kids got special needs.
Yeah. Special needs. That's Yankee Stadium. That one. Yeah, that one. By the way, that I close with that story in my new hour special. And sometimes people be like, you said that story on Segura.
So what?
I'm like, yeah, I said it in a different way. I'm doing it in stand-up format now, you fucking dunce.
Yeah, of course.
But just whatever, you just deal with it. And so, well, I don't deal with it anymore. Now fucking Brian Medieval Head deals with it. Sure. I want to behead him. So just watch his dumb hair just flop into a basket. So Phil Collins, right?
Yeah.
So we're at a Knicks. This was recently, like I want to say maybe 3-4 years ago. We're at a Knicks game on Easter Sunday. Okay? So Easter Sunday, Knicks are not playing well. They're playing against the Philadelphia 76ers, kind of both bottom of the Eastern Conference at the time. So, you know how it is. You're in New York, you're in entertainment, whatever. You can be on a list. I was very low on the list, but I was on the list to get courtside seats.
Yeah.
Now, it being Easter Sunday, it's like a 1:00 game that both teams suck. No real celebrities want to go to this game. So they go all the way down the list, and they get to me.
Chrissy D.
They get to Chrissy D. And he calls me, the head of PR calls me at about 11 a.m. The game's at 1. He goes, listen, I got 2 courtside seats. Okay. You can come down, bring a guest, like get here now. They're for you on the court. Great. Call my dad. Because, me and my dad used to go to Knicks games. We'd sit in the upper deck, talk shit about Bon Jovi. Like we're living a different life now. We don't have these glasses yet, but we're getting close.
We're getting close. We're getting there.
So
you're about 223, 224.
Yeah. I would say about that. Yeah. So call my dad. And I was like, Dad, like Knicks game, whatever. Like, we're going to go like on the court. I said, the guy told me though, like it's, it's first time ever down there. Like there's going to most likely be major celebrities there. So don't say anything. We can't talk to anybody. And you have to like dress kind of nice. Like, it's courtside. And I swear to God, my dad's initial response, he goes, I'll go with you. He goes, but let me tell you something. I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do. Just know that. I was like, okay. So know that. So my dad, I swear he comes, shows up at my door. We didn't live too far from each other back then. He's wearing a Patrick Ewing Knicks jersey with a suit jacket, sweatpants, water shoes. No water shoes, but he's wearing a New York Knicks Patrick Ewing jersey with a suit jacket. I was like
a blazer.
Yeah, I was like, you look like a fucking Make-A-Wish. Like you
and sweatpants
and sweat. But that's just my dad. He will always wear. If you ever see my dad in a suit jacket, he always has sweats on. And that's just how he rolls. Some of them don't look exact. It's not like they're Bugle Boys, but they are sweatpant material.
Yeah.
And he's wearing his New Balance sneakers because he's like, I got a wide foot. I can't wear shoes. Going shoe shopping with my dad's like, you got a 13 and a half wide? They're like, what? So he's like, I gotta keep on the New Balances. I got the diabetes. I got, foot issues.
Yeah.
So he was like, they'll understand. I was like, okay. So I swear. So we get to the game, right? We're walking in, and now we're walking like in, we're walking on down the tunnel where the players walk onto the court.
Yeah.
And it's cool for me. I'm trying to keep it cool. I'm not like doing videos,
coolest.
but
This
it's
the
cool.
Coolest.
It's cool shit. It's New York. I grew up a Knicks fan. Like, this is cool. So, and my dad's like, oh my God, whatever, he's like, this is crazy, Maron, like things like that.
Yeah.
So we get to our seats, and my dad goes, unfucking believable. And I go, yeah, this is great. And then a guy's walking by, like a staff member. He goes, give me my kid 2 cotton candies for me and my kid. And the guy was like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I don't, I work for the team. I can get somebody over. I was like, we don't need cotton candy. I'm not a special needs retarded kid. I don't need cotton candy at all. I know I look like we're from a group home right now, but I don't need cotton candy. And then he says to the guy, goes, all right, no cotton candy. He goes, but maybe the player, can get a signed ball for my kid. He goes, maybe John Starks or somebody. I was like, John Starks hasn't played for the Knicks since 97. What are you talking about? And then I was like, Dad.
22-year-old?
Yeah, I swear to God. I said, Dad, I said, I love you, but just please stop. He goes, I want you to have a good time. Like, because that's all my dad, that's why I call my comedy special Right Intention, Wrong Move, because my dad just always, his intentions like, I love you, son.
Yeah.
I want you to have a good time, but the moves were always wrong.
Sure.
And so we're sitting there, the game's going on. The game hasn't started yet. And my dad, I'm, looking around, kind of just taking it all in. It's amazing. See Fat Joe across. I'm like, wow, this is fucking crazy. And so all of a sudden I hear my dad, he goes, Chris, take a picture of my foot. I was like, what? I looked down, he had taken his shoe, I swear to Christ, his shoe and sock off, and he had his bare foot on the court. He goes, your stepmother's never gonna believe it. Barefoot on the floor. I was like, Dad, please put your shoe back on. With that, a staff member's walking across the court from a different guy. He goes, sir, we do have a no barefoot policy. You have to put your shoe and sock back on. I said, have you ever seen anyone courtside take their shoe and sock off? He goes, I haven't. And he just kept walking. But I took a picture of his foot on the court. I was like, Dad, you got to stop. Because it's just, I told you, stepmother, that, I got my feet on the floor. I was like, yeah, you can put it on with a sneaker.
Yeah.
So now the game's going on. My dad's talking shit, He's yelling at the ref, He's like, oh, should I trip one of the other players? Should I trip one of the Sixers? I was like, no, Dad, we'll be arrested. Yeah. Like, we're not at my CYO Little League basketball games here. Yeah. Where my dad used to get thrown out. My dad used to get thrown out of those games all the time. Like, we're sitting, like, at MSG. So, again, it's like celebrity row. But again, there were people there. I got in at the low end, but there were so few celebrities there because it's Easter Sunday that they just had to get, it's MSG. They want to put celebrities up on the Jumbotron. That's how it goes, right? I'm not expecting at all. Why would I ever be included? No, nobody knows. Nobody cares.
Sure.
I get it. I get my place in this. I get it. So all of a sudden, we tell my dad not to talk to anyone, right? He knows. And then he's having conversation with a guy next to him. And I don't even look at who it is, but he's just carrying on. All of a sudden, my dad has a bag of candy. He goes, "You want some Easter candy? It's from my friend." I was like, "What?" So I was like, "Okay." So I take out like a Cadbury Easter egg, eating it, give the bag back. Still don't even look at who it is. With that, there's a timeout. Camera crew comes over to put the man my father was talking to up on the Jumbotron. It was Phil Collins.
Whoa.
My dad was sharing Easter candy with Phil Collins.
Chatting it up,
talking up a storm. I have no idea. They put up Phil Collins. They, played In the Air Tonight, do-douche, do-douche,
Yeah.
do-douche, like the big thing. Crowd goes ballistic. It's Phil Collins. I mean, they were standing up like this, ballistic, crazy. The lights, I've never seen this. The lights went down when they put him up, like it was a concert. Like it was like, oh, Phil Collins, huge, crazy. My dad's going, Philly, like that. Like it's, I swear, like they're friends. Like that's how, when you meet
I came with him.
No, when you meet my father, it's an impression that like everybody loves my dad, right?
Yeah.
So, great, Phil. I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. Now I'm like, it's pretty cool. Like Phil Collins is sharing Easter egg with candy. I'm shaking his hand. Wow, Phil. Whatever. Lights go back on. There's timeout still. It's a full timeout. So there's still a couple of 20 seconds left. I'm looking down. I actually was texting my girl, being like, my dad's like Phil Collins. Like this is sick. Whatever. I see the camera crew walk, and I see them stop in front of me. Their feet and the wires from the camera stop in front of me, and I look up. I was like, yes. They were like, Chris Distefano? I was like, Chris Distefano. They're like, you're next. I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, you're on the Jumbotron. I was like, after Phil Collins? No, I don't want to go on the Jumbotron.
No.
I was like, no, I don't want to go. And I have it up on Instagram. The first couple of seconds, because I just didn't know, I'm going like this, like waving it off. And they have Chris Distefano, whatever it was, fucking NTV dick code, whatever dumb shit, nothing to promote. And I swear to Christ, it was 18,000 people cheering like they just saw Jesus. 18,000 people, pin drop silence.
Nothing.
I swear to Christ, I heard somebody, 50 rows back go, who the fuck is that? All I felt is I swear to Christ, and then I feel a hand just rubbing my back slowly. It's my dad, and he just goes, you can see him slightly come into frame. He goes, it's all going to be okay. It'll be over soon. Just rubbing my back. And then I swear to Christ, with that bomb, sweat dripping down my back, I see another hand. It's Phil Collins with a bag of Easter candy.
Oh my God.
Phil just gives me a bag of candy like that.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And it was one of those things where it was so embarrassing.
Yes.
It was so...
I feel it. I feel it for you.
Dude, it was the worst thing ever. And then I said to Phil Collins, I was like, has that ever happened to you like that? He was like, not that I recall. No. No, it hasn't. But he said, you shake it off. And he was like, the good thing is people always forget.
Yeah.
They always forget. I was like, they don't forget you. He goes, yeah, well, not me.
Oh, is this
there it
it?
is. Yeah, that was it. That was the moment.
Oh,
and that was my face after the bomb. That's what I look like.
Yeah,
Just
you're like
I got punched in the dick.
Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call two bears, one cave.